Good evening, folks. Welcome to the eISL, of course, powered by Coca-Cola. Before we have the show started, of course, a huge shout out goes out to our sponsors, starting off with our associate sponsors, Hero, our esports partners, Nodwin Gaming, our platform partners, PlayStation, and of course, our digital collectible partners, Terra Virtua, for making this happen. Well, of course, I'm Fixes joined along with Azim, and here we are for the coveted, much awaited Bengal derby. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about ATK Mohun Bagan going up against SC East Bengal. Azim, how excited are you?
Oh, very, very exciting. Quickly, let's run through our tournament format once again. This is the league stage, the second time these two teams are meeting. Of course, in the league stage, which will carry on till the 13th of March. The top four teams will qualify for the finals to be played 19th to 21st of March. And then the two winning team members, the two best friends, become enemies
Yeah.
to fight it out for FGS 2022.
Yeah, and that's a golden ticket that we've been talking about, and along with it comes a lot of money, and by a lot I mean a lot. 78 lakh rupees on the line. Out of first position receives 15 lakh. So on reduces, and of course the MVP getting 4 lakh rupees. But before we have everything started, let's take a look at the leaderboard, which is quite unusual. Of course, ATK Mohun Bagan struggling through a rough phase. Just that one win out of the 13 games that they've played. Not even able to account for a draw. But for SCS Bengal, it's a completely different story altogether. With just 9 points, they're one of the strongest contenders for this games. And yeah, of course, if once we take a look at today's matchups, oh, there you go. We've got a little bit of a
Ooh.
tipsy and turvy, turn over here. Ankit Gupta going up against KT Dillon. Quite opposite to what happened the last time these stalwarts met.
Yeah, well, a bit of variety for all of them, and of course, Beno 7 going up against Binder Tej. Of course, these are the two Kolkata clubs right here. A huge rivalry, but of course, diametrically opposite in terms of their positions in the league. SC East Bengal, high flying Ankit Gupta over there, one of the contenders for the MVP award. Look at that. 69 goals scored in just 9 matches. ATKMB, of course, not struggling in the goal scoring department, but oh my goodness, KT Dillon is going to have his work cut out against Ankit Gupta, because the last time these two teams faced off, well, let's see what happened. It was Ankit Gupta. Devastating performance. One of his first displays in this eISL. 5-1 against Binder Tej. And I'm Beno 7 with a reasonably convincing 3-1 as well. And of course the 3-2. So a complete whitewash. And of course for ATKMB in the Kolkata derby, I mean, you know what, the league table goes out of the window. It's about bragging rights,
Yeah.
right? And if ATKMB can manage to salvage anything from this game, I think the fans are going to be absolutely overjoyed.
And there you have it. Ankit Gupta just flexing his muscles. And in the real Hero ISL, we've got a completely different story going up altogether, right? Of course, we did have a matchup yesterday, and ATK Mohun Bagan did emerge out as the victors. But here, it's going to be a different story altogether as we take a look at the statistics. And clearly one-sided if you just look at pen and paper, but it comes down to nothing, as you rightfully pointed out, Azim, because we've seen these players in the past. Yeah, of course, KT Dillon not having a really strong run, but this is personal, right? This is a Bengal derby. The fans, the love, the support that comes along with a lot of hate sometimes, and you've got to deal with it. But the players, they know when the pressure rises, that's where they step up. So ATKMB, we've got to see as the game has already started off. SCS Bengal from left to right. Of course, ATKMB from right to left in the whites today.
Yeah, will be interesting to see. I don't think the color of the jersey has really impacted, sadly, ATKMB's results so far this season. Just the one win. But let's not forget, they did it against the team that was pretty much top of the table at that time. And we see over here KT trying a fairly one rudimentary strategy over there of just bombing down on the left flank. But there we go. Ankit Gupta, are we going to see his meta finish the chop back into the corner? From this angle, it would just be stupid to even do that. But hey, Ankit Gupta, he redefines what intelligence and stupidity are in the eISL. You can see over here already getting 2 shots away, both of them blocked by the defenders, and getting in. Oh, wins the corner. KT survives. It's been 8 minutes, but oh my god, it's going to feel like an eternity for KT Dillon trying to keep Ankit Gupta out.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the most charismatic players of the eISL we do have in front of us over here, Ankit Gupta. Let's see what can he make out of this corner. And right off the bat, we could see some immense pressure, and we've seen Ankit Gupta going for all those long finesse shots. But
Oh,
this might all change over here as Katie Dillon, he's making a run with Ronaldo. Definitely has to look for a cutback. Does not find as Matthias. Well read, I must say, by Ankit Gupta. And now he's on a counter attack of its own. So sparks flying right from the very start. It's just getting started.
well, this is what you expect in a Kolkata derby, but over there, similar to KT Zara on the other end, is end to end, no time being wasted at all. Both players just want to get on the score sheet as soon as possible, and for KT particularly, when he does get those chances, he really needs to capitalize on it because Ankit at some point in the game, he will get chances. He will get maybe 3 or 4 or 5 chances, and given his form, at least one of them is going to end up in the back of the net. So KT has to keep his focus. He has to be completely predatorial in that box. Otherwise, it could be Ankit Gupta doing something like this, twisting, turning,
No.
drawing the tackle, scoring the goal, easy as you like. And there, KT Dillon made to regret that one big chance he had at the other end, but normal service resumes for Ankit Gupta. The little break he's had having absolutely no impact on his finishing ability.
Oh, it's going to be so detrimental for Katie Dillon, especially the first goal. He completely was just toying around with him. Look at that. Just dribbling past and then with the left foot taking that shot and, did not really celebrate. He knows it was that easy for him. And the fans of ATK Mohun Bagan will definitely not be happy with the way this was conceded, and they would want redemption. And Katie Dillon has to provide them with one. The usual strategy, what I can really figure out of ATKMB over is try and get a draw, maybe a potential win. They would take it with open arms. But even if they get a loss, the second game is where they're really counting on, right? Bindratej to win against Shantan. But it's not going to be easy because Shantan is in a stellar run already. So initially we could see those nerves tingling, but now he's steady as a rock. He knows what he has got to do. It's going to be so difficult for ATK Mohun Bagan to even think of a win today. Maybe could try of potentially securing a draw. But let's see how this pans out. But for now, again, East Bengal, taking quick command over the game and getting over the driver's feet. But Katie Dillon, this could be a very good pass for him. With Ronaldo goes in, looks for a pass on towards Neymar Jr. Definitely has to score from there, but did not as he.
Yeah, it's just the lack of confidence over there. I mean, a confident KT Dillon might have just even contemplated just taking that shot over there. He still might get an opportunity, but again, just that confidence in the final third completely lacking for KT, unfortunately, at this time. For Ankit, he knows what this is all about. He just has to keep trying to get in. I mean, KT hasn't made it easy for him. Let's say he has had a couple of opportunities, but it is of course still just 1-0. And we do know we've seen freak goals happen. Even in our last game, we saw that crazy goal with the keeper literally passing the ball straight to the opposing forward and scoring a cheap goal. But of course, Mumbai City FC did manage to still get something after that disaster at the end. But here we go, KT this time working this really well again. I think just a little too hurried in that situation. He had beaten the man. The composure is just lacking for KT. As the guy who, in the interviews we've seen with him, has said that he thrives under pressure. But this is a pressure game. This is the pressure game when it comes to the eISL. It is the Kolkata derby, and he's coping with it okay for now. Defensively, he's not been that bad. Ankit, of course, individual brilliance getting him that goal over there. But he needs to capitalize on the 1v1s that he wins and really try to get a few clean shots on goal, because he's showing potential. He just needs to put the chances away before it's too late, and it might be too late with Ankit in there, but deflected wide by the keeper for a corner.
Wow, I mean, look at the confidence. The sheer confidence has always been Ankit's USP, right? Now again, going out for a corner, went for a short one, then went in after giving a pass, playing Ronaldo over there, with now entering through the right side, Mbappe. He's got to definitely go for a cutback, but there's a little bit of a chip shot being made. Maybe, was that a direct shot at goal, or was the intention there to really pass it towards his teammate?
With Ankit, you can never honestly be sure. But it went out for an offside, so pretty academic at this point, going for a ball roll over there. But Ankit, of course, quite predicting it quite easily. And this seems to be the theme of the match. A lovely ball played through over there. Now plenty of bodies in the box. Sits down the keeper, goes for the finish. Maldini there, defender in the way to get the block for ATKMB. They're holding on. KT Dillon, can he survive till half time? For the moment he can. And sir, again with the save. Ankit Gupta, well, a little questioning expression on his face of how did that not go in. But KT just at this point, I think, will be pleased to still be in the game. And Ankit maybe just potentially can get a bit flustered if it remains at 1-0. So KT has to keep his hopes alive.
Oh yeah, he definitely has to. But I still must say, considering the caliber of Ankit Gupta, KT has done a decent job of actually trying to hold on. But it's all come down to the keeper making those redonkulous saves over there. But for how long? As again, Ankit Gupta was trying to pace in through that left hand side, go for a cutback, but was eventually halted out. And Rio Ferdinand doing this job, and his defense has to be always on his toes. That is ATKMB's, because if this goes on, East Bengal, they're just going to clobber through ATKMB. And look at the possession clearly dominating through that first half, and just mocking KT Dillon over here for a second. And KT even knows that he'd have been played really bad over there.
Yeah, but the good news for him is that it is, of course, still just 1-0. And at this moment, anything is possible. A free goal, a moment of brilliance, a lapse in concentration for Ankit Gupta. Anything could suddenly claw KT back in. And if he can somehow even get a draw out of this, that gives ATKMB some hope going into the next fixture. Bindra Tej, of course, a player who is always high on confidence. He's a player who likes to attack as much as he can. And we have seen in the last game that KT Dillon played, he went a little too aggressive, too attacking too early, and was punished massively for it. Does look like he's brought on Renato Sanchez in midfield, maybe a player that he's comfortable with. So looking for something a bit different, maybe a little dribbling ability, maybe a little bit more defensive solidity as well. And now KT getting in, another huge opportunity, passed up, and he cannot keep wasting these good chances. He has to get a shot away.
Yeah, like you said, I completely agree with you. Regardless, considering the fact that ATKMB, they're still a goal behind, but KT did create a fair share of chances, right? He'd been getting in, but towards the final third is where he's having his primary issues, where he's need to find that opening and instantly score. Because once you start double guessing yourself, that's exactly where Ankit Gupta defeats you, right? He's one of those players who's been really expressive about the fact that once he starts feeling himself, he directly goes for the shots. And that's what he does all the time, right? Goes for those long finesse ones. And he's got such an arsenal of skills that he has at the back of the net just to score those important goals. But for KT Dillon, he's got to do something, right? He's got to take those shots, take his chances. You never know, one might really go in.
Yeah, he's repeatedly getting in behind on that right flank. Clearly, it is a game plan, but now if you don't take your chance and you turn it over cheaply, you put Ankit into this situation. He has Neymar waiting at the edge of the area, goes for Ronaldo, but unable to find it. You'd have to say that Ankit also not playing the best game of his tournament so far. And credit to KT for making his life a bit more difficult. Of course, Ankit has had really nothing to do defensively apart from just seeing out those few through balls that have come down his flanks. And here, finds the ball into Ronaldo. This should be... Oh, it's not. It's again well defended by KT. Getting in the way, very eager to get started immediately. Now has Sanchez on the ball over there. What can he do? He needs to, I think, just calm it down a little bit. Again, there you go. Too eager to make that pass. Just needs to slow it down. There is plenty of time for him to make this comeback. Gets the ball given back to him. So, Ankit also clearly not quite feeling it in this game. And KT again... that trusty strategy of his going down the right flank. This time finding the fullback, finds the cutback, and it's, well, claimed by the keeper. He's getting closer.
Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, at this point somewhere, I think Ankit Gupta is getting restrained, a little bit impatient. Because, the kind of a play that we've seen, especially the last time when he went up against Bindra Tej, he was just scoring goals after goals. It was a 5-goal haul for him. But this could again go to the second one being scored over here, but a little too out on the outside. Still a deflection coming out of the keeper over there, and it goes out for a corner. And I think from what Ankit Gupta likes to do, I think he's got a man really up close and personal over there for short corner. But no, it's just a dummy. And now he's going to take a shot with Matthias, being very, very overwhelming with that shot. And could have fairly done better, but it's all right. That's something, again, you can live with. SC Bengal. 70 minutes have
Oh my
gone
God.
past by, and it's still that 1-0 lead. So if ATKMB Azim over here can, some sort of a shocker, if it can be pulled out of them, then this is exactly what they would need. I mean, a draw against a match with Ankit Gupta, that's more like a win for them.
Yeah, and I mean, let me tell you, there are at least 4 or 5 teams who will be hoping and praying that ATKMB can take some points off SC's
Yeah.
Bengal
Oh, you
today.
had to do
And
that.
we have been having conversations. Maybe a pizza has been ordered, maybe it hasn't been, because this should be a goal now. Surely, no, still defended. And
Oh.
KT Dhillon surviving by the skin of his teeth. Ankit Gupta looks like he's had enough of his current players. He wants to make a couple of changes. Might still get a goal over here. No, well defended again. KT's game plan over here has been, I think, fairly straightforward. Sit deep on defense for as long as he can and then try to hit on the counter attack using those flanks.
Yeah.
And with 15 minutes to go, we see a pause cued by him as well. Maybe this is the moment where KT decides that he can bring out the big guns, where he can really start trying to attack and put some pressure on Ankit Gupta. But these are the positions where he's just not able to capitalize, always losing that ball in the wide position. And now Ankit Gupta, acres and acres of space to find the pass. Surely a goal now, and that is game over. That's unfortunately how cruel this game can be. You have a chance at your end, you give the ball up, and then suddenly you're another goal down.
It sort of feels like as if he was trying to mock him, right? Just have him dreaming that maybe a comeback was possible. And at the very end moment, when he realized now it's getting too far, it's getting a little bit too stretched, let's score one. And there you go. A very easy goal, by Ankit Gupta's standards, the way he made that run for it, just a perfect opportunity. And that is how devastating and that is how deadly he can get on those counter attacks, right? Katie did not see this coming from miles afar. And here we have SC East Bengal, not really a lead that you would ideally imagine when you've got Ankit Gupta playing for you. I really thought the outcome would be somewhere around 6-0 or something like that. But no, that was clearly not the case over here. As 80 minutes have gone past by, ATKMB, if they can get some sort of consolation goal, because clearly you can see KT over here is looking a little bit off weather. But regardless, you've got to give him ups, to hold his guards against the mighty Ankit Gupta for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean he's tried as much as he could, but now I mean he doesn't want this to get embarrassing. You see now Ankit bringing out all the party tricks. Let's see if KT can grab anything out of this game. He has had so many promising opportunities. I wouldn't even say chances. I'd say opportunities to create chances, but he's just never managed to get that ball in. Again, there you go. Gets into the position and is immediately tackles and just loses that ball. Now, will he go for a cross into the box? He does, but unfortunately, the cross from corners meta doesn't quite seem to work. Trying to get a shot with Messi on the left foot, not quite working out. And Ankit will be looking to make it 3. He's kept Mbappe on side. This should be a formality. Will he go for a chip? He does, and there you go. What is a game without an Ankit Gupta chip for SC's Bengal?
Well, I mean, I think this is it. This is it. Lights out finally towards the very end. And he had to do that with style. And there you have it. Signature Ankit Gupta, being fearless, knowing when to attack, giving your opponent a chance at maybe making a comeback. But that's the biggest mistake. That's the deception that he tends to lead you into believing. But regardless, this is where you. Oh, all right. This is legit happened with me. After being hammered down, I was like, all right, chuck it. I'm just heading directly inside, head on. I don't care what happens. And sometimes it has really worked out. I wouldn't be lying,
Yeah.
but not against online opponents. That's a different story. I'm not gonna talk about the difficulty, however. But yeah, 90 minutes have finally gone past by almost, and there you have it. Ankit Gupta, the clear winner out over here. 3 goals being scored. and not quite the goals that we really anticipated, but still a win is a win, and East Bengal inching closer to their victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get one hand on, of course, doing the double over ATKMB. Obviously, a huge, very prestigious moment for the Bengal clubs to beat their fierce rivals twice in the season, and they're one third of the way there. Now it's up to Bindratej to try and rescue something against Shayantan. Beno 7, of course, a guy who's been slowly growing in form and stature throughout this tournament.
Yeah.
Really hitting his stride recently. So Bindratej has his work cut out. Let's see if he can manage to get anything, even a draw, to just try to keep this alive going into game 3, where then, of course, anything is possible. But Ankit Gupta over there, this one, great individual skill, toying with KT, who then defended, in fairness to him, quite well up till around the 75-minute mark. And, of course, you could see hopelessly exposed on that counter-attack, getting players forward. He had no choice. And then with Ankit, you can't give him that much space and expect to still not concede.
But you know, again, for quite some time, KT did manage to hold on to himself, right? Ankit Gupta at certain points I really felt was maybe overthinking a little bit, quite unusual. But yeah, we could see those reminiscence of that. So, but again, getting back into the game towards those final 10 minutes, that's where we saw Ankit Gupta finally getting into his old vibes, where he just is like, I'm feeling it and I'm gonna go for those shots. And clearly not a fair reflection of how the game was. Of course, in terms of possession, both these teams look fairly even, but taking a look at the expected goals, that's where it really hurts for KT. So many chances were there, but he just could not get to the point where he did actually take a shot.
Yeah, there you go. And that's the difference, right? 12 shots taken versus 0. And had opportunities. Could have just taken shots, put a little bit of pressure, won a few corners. Didn't quite work out for him, unfortunately, on the day. And, well, this day has happened several times for ATKMB and KT Dillon. But we do have the main man, Ankit Gupta, who is now edging closer towards that MVP title, sitting on 32 goals right now. So, Ankit, good win for you, but अभी भी आप थोड़ा ऐसा खुश नहीं लग रहे थे मैच के बाद.
हाँ, अपने परफॉर्मेंस से खुश नहीं था मैं. काफ़ी रश करके खेल रहा था एंड सिर्फ डायरेक्ट पासिंग कर रहा था एंड कुडंट बिल्ड अप. शांतन भी बोल रहा था कि थोड़ा काम रहे, बट आई एम लाइक मैं इरिटेट हो रहा हूँ, गोल नहीं जा रहे एंड अच्छा नहीं था मतलब मेरा गेम आज के दिन.
बट फिर भी आपने यहाँ पे 3 गोल जड़ दिए. बट ये बताइए, आज मतलब बंगाल डार्बी है, काफी फैंस के बीच में वो उत्सुकता रहती है, उत्साह रहती है, एंड फैंस गेट रियली अप क्लोज एंड पर्सनल व्हेन इट्स एटीके मोहन बगान वर्सेस ईस्ट बंगाल. बट अब पिछली बार के भी एनकाउंटर की बात करें, इट वाज अ क्लियर थ्रैशिंग. तो आज के मैचअप से पहले कोई मैसेजेस, कोई डीएम्स की बेस्ट ऑफ लक्स एंड एनीथिंग, बिकॉज़ इट्स अ बिग मैचअप फॉर यू.
ईस्ट बंगाल के फैन से वो हर मैच के पहले मैच आते हैं, लेकिन एक फ़ैन जब कोलकाता डर्बी रहती है तब लोग बोलते हैं कि कुछ भी करना पड़े डर्बी नहीं हारना, एंड आई एम लाइक आई विल ट्राई माय बेस्ट टू नॉट लूज दिस गेम.
Yes, but I don't worry, इतना स्ट्रेस मत लो. I don't think ये भी मैसेज आते हैं क्या कि क्या यार सिर्फ 3-0 एटलीस्ट 7-0
आज शायद ये आएगा.
नहीं, ये सब ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
ठीक है. Well, great performance. Either way, still 3-0 and not allowing your opponent a shot on goal. So still a good performance, and good luck Abhi to Shayantan for the rest of the game, and maybe
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
chat with you later.
Thank you.
And there you go. I mean, already fans का message आ चुका था, क्योंकि I was sort of anticipating कि ये तो होने ही वाला है, because Bengal derby है, that these two clubs get really up close and personal in इस सब मामलों में.
Yeah.
But of course, first matchup खत्म हुआ, and this is sort of something that ATK Mohun Bagan were really counting on, right? ऐसा इन्होंने सोच के चला था कि हाँ चलिए अंकित गुप्ता के अगेंस्ट we can still accept a draw or maybe a defeat, it's fine. बट दिस मैचअप जो सेकंड मैच होने वाला है, यहाँ पे ATKMB को किसी भी हाल में अजीम यहाँ पे जीत हासिल करना पड़ेगा. एटलीस्ट मैच को थर्ड गेम तक लेके जाना पड़ेगा. बट अगेंस्ट शायंतन इट्स गोइंग टू बी सो टफ, बिकॉज दिस मैन ही इज कॉन्फिडेंट. He is from Bengal, and I think more than Ankit Gupta, he's gonna feel the heat of it. But I'm pretty sure the last time the way he played, he's gonna see it through.
Yeah, absolutely. But if there are any ATKMB fans watching, अभी भी time है दोस्तों. I don't know if these guys have their phones in their studios, but अभी बस आप एक मैसेज भेज दो बिंद्रतेज को कि भाई जीत जाओ और आपके होटल में केक आ रहा है. You never know, the result may completely swing. because we have seen the kick prove to be magical for ATKMB. But having a look at the stats, not particularly magical, you would have to say, for Bindra Tej. On the surface, ऐसे नहीं लगता है कि he's had a bad tournament. 27 goals मार चुके हैं. He's only about 6 or 7, sorry, 3 or 4 goals of being in second or third place for that MVP status. But defensively, मतलब 5 goals score करके 6 concede कर रहे हैं. That's unfortunately been the problem. And let's see now if Shayantan can take advantage of that weak defense. We do see for ATKMB, ATKMB have gone back with Bindra Tej choosing Bastian Schweinsteiger, जो बहुत ही बढ़िया assist उनके साथ manage किया था.
Yeah.
And now it's about, can he survive the onslaught, and will Shayantan be in the same form, or will he give a little bit of a chance? Being the boy from Bengal, you would expect that he's not going to give his opponent a slip.
Yeah, but you know, then again, at the back of its mind, वो एक pressure वाली बात रहती है. But right off the bat, बिंद्र तेज की तरफ से बहुत ही बेहतरीन पास गया. पहले के साथ definitely shot लेना चाहिए. और शानदार गोल यहाँ पे ATK Mohun Bagan making a comeback in the second game. 1-0 की इन्होंने काफी अच्छी बढ़त बना लिया. And Azim, this is exactly what they wanted, right? This is going off in their books. ATKMB, they're fine with that first loss, but this game, they can't seem to mess it up. And I was talking about the pressure. This time, it's going to get doubled up on Chantal.
Oh, definitely. And Bindra Tej, no nonsense, showing that early tournament form of his. Really exciting, impulsive play over there. Getting the ball in, बहुत ही शानदार finish to find that bottom corner. And now Shayantan getting his first attack. Can he reply in kind? Can he get an early leveler for East Bengal? Of course there will be pressure on him. उसे भी काफी सारे DMs आए ही होंगे Instagram पे to say don't lose this game no matter what you do. Have to get the result against ATKMB. आप किसी और से भी हार जाओ, but not ATKMB. And there, let's see, seeing the passion and over there. Couldn't quite force his way through, but Bindra Tej will be very happy now to sit and play on this counter attack. Is he looking for that long ball over the top? Not yet, but I get the feeling Bindra Tej is in a mood today. He's in the mood to really take the game to East Bengal and to Shayantan over there. Let's see if he can capitalize on this excellent start he's made. For now, being a bit smart, keeping possession, forcing Shayantan ki aaja bhai, ball le le mujhse. And thereby creating a few gaps and holes in the defense. And very smart, very shrewd play from Bindra Tej. Maybe his luck is about to turn as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, the way this game has started off, I'm pretty impressed with how Bindra Tej has been playing. All he's got to do, we've always known this Azim that he's a goal scoring machine, right? The only problem he's had is in conceding goals, and we did get to see a display of it yesterday as well. They were scoring, but then again conceding at the same time, and this is something that they need to avoid. And this is where Shayantan has to find his opening, and this certainly could be one, making a run with Pele, but eventually just slows it down because he knows he's not got enough men over there. And Spinazzola coming in from ATK Mohun Bagan, making sure the tackle was made, and he snatched the ball away from him. Now ATK Mohun Bagan, I think what they can do is, if they can have a half-time lead, maybe of 2-0, I think fairly going into the second half, Beno 7 is going to be under such a tremendous pressure. And that's where I think maybe he could find that chink in their armor, and ATK Mohun Bagan can force for the third game.
Yes, absolutely. And that has to be the aim right now. Has to be the aim to win this one and then go into the co-op with the opportunity to get all 3 points. Because as we have said, ye derby match hai, the form goes completely out of the window. And you can see that with Bindra Tej as well. Starting with huge confidence. Ankit Gupta as well, by his standards, not having the best day. He was panicking कि goal क्यों नहीं जा रहा है. यहाँ पे भी goal क्यों नहीं जा रहा है is the question that Shayantan will be asking himself. And for Bindra Tej, he would love to get that second goal, but a very cheap giveaway. This has been the story of ATKMB season so far, being in a good position, cheap giveaway. But this time, story has a bit of a twist, and ATKMB survived. Now will look to find Mbappe on that run. No, actually deciding not to. So just clearly employing the tactic of, I want to keep the ball, I want control of the match. If I don't give the opposition the ball, they can't score, and that surely is offside though.
Oh yeah, but again, Shantan somehow finding his groove, getting inside the game. This is promising, right? This is promising. This is something that they can afford for now, because one goal advantage is fine. Because once the halftime hits, I know Ankit Gupta is definitely whisper something into his ears, and we're going to see a comeback from East Bengal. But regardless, I think ATK Mohun Bagan have done a phenomenal job in holding their horses over here, especially after that early goal they've scored. And all they've got to do is try to have that lead in their favor, try to force out the third game. But for now, again, with the Tej, likewise from the left wing, they
Oh,
has gone pushing in, given towards Gullit. Pele, I believe, had a little bit of an opening where he could have actually gone in for the shot. What about you, Aziz?
yeah, I mean, I think with Gullit probably could have waited just a little bit over there, try to get the defender to commit and then look for a better pass. So because he went from literally 1 foot away from goal to right outside the box with that one pass, so then not able to capitalize on the counter attack. But for Bindratej, he knows that if he keeps playing the way he is, that second chance for that second goal will appear. This time it's offside. He's looking to get in behind the defense as soon as possible, because Shantan is playing a high line. If you look at the defenders, they're all pretty much at the halfway line or even above the halfway line. So if he finds that runner in behind using the pace of an Mbappe or a Pele on the flanks, or indeed a Ronaldo, because I do believe he's got the CR7 card on his left flank, if he can utilize that pace, he can be quite devastating on the counter attack. And well, for that he needs to win the ball back. Sayantan now taking his time, and this is where Bindratej typically has struggled in this tournament, when he needs to defend 1v1. If he gets beaten over there, it can be very, very difficult to come out of that. But for now, hanging on, positioning his players fairly well. Those two midfielders doing a decent job of screening, not really allowing the pass to be played to the centre forwards. So Shantan really having to work, trying to get a bit more creative over here. This could be an opportunity.
Oh.
It is an opportunity, but a last-ditch block. And it does look like it is half-time.
Yeah, and I think again, Bindratej is quite satisfied with the way this half has gone for him, right? Not really having the best of possession, but again, still making sure that he has that one goal reflecting over here. And ATK Mohun Bagan fans now, they are content with what he has done so far. KT Dillon clearly not happy with how he has performed, but this is where Ankit Gupta has got to calm down the nerve for Shayantan. Clearly, Ankit Gupta knows that this is a really important match for them, regardless of how things stand. They're quite comfortable in terms of the overall standings. But again, the Bengal derby that we've always been talking about, it gets way too serious out there in Kolkata. I've been there. I know how the fans are. They take their football very passionately, and it's an all-out war. No caps. But yeah,
Absolutely.
there we go. The second half starting off, and Shantan, he's got a lot on his shoulders, right? He knows, he understands the importance of these derbies, and especially this one, at least in India, the Kolkata derby, the Bengal derby, whatever you call it, it's going to be special for him. The last time he did manage to win off, but this time, a lot of things keeping him a little aloof.
Yeah, absolutely. And ATKMB now need to just sit and well, defend where they can, but obviously have to try and get that second goal, because I don't think a 1-0 is sustainable, given the fact that Bindratej to this date I don't think in this tournament has kept a clean sheet. So it would have to defy the odds, defy history. But he's got into a great position here with Ronaldo almost able to get that shot off. Looked like he had just for a second got that opening, and when he gets, of course, into those attacking positions, he can't get overexcited because he does need to defend. Now on the counter attack, Shantan has got bodies in front, but again, very, very well defended by Bindratej. He will look now to switch that play to the right flank. No, the runner now is gone offside, so he has to look elsewhere. And now the mistake, the cheap giveaway. Will he be made to pay for this? Nope. Lives to fight another day. Living really on the edge is Bindratej. Is he going to go for that long ball in behind? He is, and he's found a smashing ball to Ronaldo. A great first touch. Could have maybe gone for a chip there. I wonder if the chip might have been a better option.
Yeah, it certainly could have been. But, even Bindratej realized that. But it's okay. It's okay, right? Because he's still pressing. He's still creating chances. He's still attacking. This is something that, the fans and he himself can live with. Again, another chance being created over here. And now, as the game is progressing, of course, Matthias from East Bengal, he's got to do something. they've got to somehow at least try to score an equalizer over here, because SC East Bengal, otherwise they are going to crumble. But Pele, that was a good dribble. Oh, just a back and forth pass attempt being made. And this is getting menacing for SC East Bengal. And clearly, if this sort of continues going on, then we're going to be having SC East Bengal sort of struggling, in the second game like they are already. And the third game, that's going to be the decider between them. As Bindu Tej, he's looking for a pass, giving it away towards CR7. Pele receiving it back and, taking his time with the build-up, just the way Lokmanu likes to do it, and finally has an opening. Gets a little impatient over there with the finisher, and certainly could have done better over there. But let's see what really happens. And as the game sort of keeps flowing, Mbappe, from SC East Bengal side, did have the ball on him for quite a while, but 70 minutes have almost gone past by, and Azim, it's not looking good for SC East Bengal. But ATK Mohun Bagan, right from the second half, they've been so prolific.
Yeah, but it could all count for nothing if Bindu Tej cannot capitalize and see this game out. I think he's played an excellent game so far. He's been very solid in defense, has created chances in attack. He just needs that one to stick. You can see Shanthan getting a little bit flustered, a little bit more desperate with his defending over there. But Bindu Tej, I mean, that's something he really can't afford. Have to be more composed than that. Gets a second bite of the cherry now. Again, Shanthan managing to marshal his defense, but you can see now when Bindu Tej is in possession, Shanthan getting that little bit more desperate to get in and win that ball. Well marshaled, well defended again by SC East Bengal. Bindu Tej is doing a very, very good job. Very uncharacteristic performance, you would have to say, of taking an early lead and then seeing it out. I mean, he would absolutely love a clean sheet over here. And if he can see it out, I think that would be a massive achievement. And what a great setup to game 3 of this derby.
Yeah, of course, because the last time they went up against each other, they locked horns. It was again a clear win for SC East Bengal. However, the matchups were different, right? This time, ATKMB did come up with a plan which is perfectly working up until now. Because even if Shanthan can manage a draw, it's still going to be advantage for SC East Bengal. But ATKMB, they have been phenomenal throughout the second half especially. But look at Shanthan. Oh, Maldini making the save over here. And Shanthan, now the nerves are definitely creeping up on him. He's got to still, somehow find that little bit of an opening, struggling with that, clearly.
Yeah, I think we're reaching the point in the game where now Bindu Tej needs to just think about managing this game. He needs to just try to see it out, maybe not try actively to score, but just keep possession. We have seen a lot of teams do this, and these are the situations you have to avoid. Again, very, very well defended 1v1. He needs to keep going again. Can he do it? Yes. The ball ends up in the keeper's arms. Bindu Tej leans back, heaves a sigh of relief. He surely now just has to take this ball into the corner, pass it around in midfield, but the pressure from Shanthan is absolutely relentless. Keeps that ball with him now, and at 87 minutes, this could potentially be heartbreak for ATKMB. Bindu Tej has defended with his life since pretty much the 4th minute of this game, but the defense unfortunately cannot hold out.
Wow.
And it does look like SC East Bengal have stolen the point away, and that clean sheet continues to elude them.
Oh, this is such a heartbreak, Azim. This should have never happened. ATKMB, they were so close. Just on the brink of winning this match and forcing it to a game 3. And there you go. The goal has been scored, and Shanthan finally breathing a huge sigh of relief. But somewhere down the lane, as being casters, you're not supposed to be really biased, but you've got to feel for Bindu Tej. He'd been holding so long, and towards the end, just giving it away.
Well, he might still have the opportunity. There is about a minute plus one more minute, I would assume, of added time to see out. So he gets one opportunity. This is it. One shot, one opportunity, one moment. Can he seize it? Unfortunately, he can't. And well, Shantan just sees that out. And a wry smile from Bindratej. He's very, very disappointed. And these are the ones that hurt the most. When you
Yeah.
take that early lead and then just cannot see it out. And really, I mean, he defended very, very well, but just needed to take his chances in attack. I think a similar story for KT as well. Of course, Bindratej getting much, much closer, much more expected goals. And SC East Bengal, despite already now having guaranteed themselves 1 point, both of them not particularly happy with the result so far. And for ATKMB, still they should not lose hope because, of course, in game 3, if they manage to get the win, as unlikely as, of course, it may seem based on current form, they can still come away with this game with a point, and I'm sure earn quite a few brownie points from all the top 5 or 6 teams around who are hoping for SC East Bengal to slip up.
Oh yeah, and you know, considering how things have gotten over here, of course, Shantan would be again not pleased with himself because this shows no improvement considering his results last time against KT Dillon, with where he sort of managed a win. Again, a draw. Nevertheless, you know, still saving his heads over there, right? At least for the fans out here. He knows, he understands, and this was again going at the back of his minds, right? Every time, every other game, you see him in his natural element. But when it's this derby, you know, the much-awaited Kolkata derby, you know, it gets really passionate, gets really serious, up close and personal. But somehow he's managed to make a comeback towards the very end. But clearly a devastating blow for to their morals, right? KT and Bindratej. Clearly, you know, heading off into the co-op game, they're gonna be so unhappy with themselves, you know, just heartbroken because especially Bindratej, he'd been putting up quite a fight, and just to give away such a lead, oh, that hurts, Azim.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, this is a part and parcel of, well, football, life, eISL, everywhere. Sometimes you don't always get what your work deserves, but they can't lose hope. It has to be a message of positivity now for ATKMB to say, you know what, we're not out of this. We can still ruin SC East Bengal's day. We can still bring back home a point for the fans, and yeah, that's really a sad moment for ATKMB, but it's quite sad.
It definitely is, and it's sort of heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, whatever you may call it. But again, you know, that sort of sets the show for the third game heading in. Of course, SC East Bengal do have that little bit of a slight advantage, right? They've been guaranteed that 1 point at least taking home. But you know what? There's something for all you viewers out there. You can get all your favorite players and team posters from our digital collectibles partners, Terra Virtua, a leader in the NFT and the metaverse space. We know the hype has been around the NFTs a lot, and we all do know that you love Ankit Gupta and Shayantan as well as Bindratej and Katie. So if you do want to collect the NFTs, you do want to collect those moments, you definitely want to check these guys out. Sign up and you're getting a free NFT, mind you at that. That's something really precious. And I'm liking this color combination, you know, a red and a little bit of mustard on that, and quite reflecting the flavors of Bengal.
Yeah, lovely little piece of art over there, and I'm sure there's lots of people who would be interested in grabbing one of those. And of course, you can sign up and get those for free. So yeah, great stuff, and great to see NFTs, of course, as a part of now the
Yeah.
eISL ecosystem as well. Very, very cool new technology that you need to get up to speed with. If you haven't got on the bandwagon yet, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I am almost, you know, looking at quite a lot of profits being made. A few hodl on a few of my cryptos, but again, we're not gonna be talking about them right now. We're gonna head in. We're gonna head in inside this matchup. You know, finally, after that, you know, heartbreaking moment for ATKMB, a few moments of laughter where they finally realize, all right, let's, you know, it's all done and dusted. So we're gonna try and make sure at least we make it a draw, nevertheless. And to secure a draw in this entire tie, ATK Mohun Bagan, well, see, they've got to win this game out. It's gonna be so difficult for them?
Well, difficult it may be, but it's not impossible. We do know, of course, that both these boys for SC East Bengal, I mean, you look at them and think that they just both got defeated 7-0 each, given how sad that they're looking about the entire situation. But for ATKMB, just got to keep believing. I think Bangladesh played a great game. KT also, for large parts of that game, looked pretty solid. So I wouldn't put it past them, just sneak a 1-0. Okay, I'm sorry, 1-0. ATKMB does not do 1-0. Sneak a 2-1 maybe, because they're bound to concede a goal. Maybe it might be possible for them.
Oh yeah, and again, you hit them right at the spot where it hurts, right? But again, ATKMB is another team that does not really settle for those single goals, right? They kind of like to go for the 2s and the 3s, but at the same time, on not the positive side, they concede a lot more than that. That has been the major issue, and we have been talking about it, more often than not. But yeah, for SC East Bengal, we know the co-op game has been really strong, especially when you've got Ankit Gupta, who's always managed to maintain his calm demeanor over there in such situations like this as well. Talking about his first game against KT, he did score an early goal, but after that, we did not see a lot out of him up until the point towards the end, towards the final 10 minutes, he managed to score 2 out of that. So, these are the things that, of course, ATK Mohun Bagan did not really anticipate. They were trying to hold on for as long as they could. But, it is what it is. And for now, with the game already having started off, SC East Bengal, they're going to try their luck again, try to maybe win it out in the co-op game, because the last time also they did manage to get a victory. That was a very good pass, but after just that receive, got instantly dealt with.
Yeah, and a very, very cheap giveaway again. And this is really what ATKMB cannot afford. You worked really, really hard to still be in the game at this point. And oh my goodness, massive volley over there, but runs it out of play. I think may have been offside also. So didn't really count for anything. But yeah, those midfield giveaways, those cheap ball losses, that's what ATKMB really need to get out. I mean, listen, if you're beaten by a player in an individual battle one-on-one with a moment of great skill, you have to put your hands up and say, you know what, that person was just better than me in the moment. But when you are the architect of your own downfall, those moments you really, really have to try to avoid them. And ATKMB now, I would love to see them take the lead in this game. That would just make everything so interesting.
Oh yeah, that definitely would, because again, you're talking about the players of ATKMB, the way they've been playing today. I think sort of we could see this improvement, right, in terms of how many goals they've conceded today, especially Bindratej. Just in that, just by the stroke of that full time, he did concede one. But apart from that, he was keeping himself decently well. Now, that's not clear to me if Shantan was actually under tremendous amount of pressure, because that's something we're going to get to know when we get to talk to him. And I really hope we do, because again, a boy from Bengal, the fans would definitely love a few words in Bengali over there. But yeah, getting back to the game, of course, it's a really good pass, but the intention was pretty clear, but the execution just not.
Oh my god. And a very cheap giveaway again. This is the second time they've done it in this game. You got away with it the first time. You don't get away with it 2 times in a row. And exactly as I had said, they cannot afford these kind of cheap giveaways. And especially in a game of this magnitude. Yes, you're not fighting for anything on the table. But really, this has been the Achilles heel for ATKMB. They've really shot themselves in the foot too many times. And after all that hard work of the first 2 games, to just give it away like this, it's really heartbreaking for them, and I'm sure quite frustrating for the fans watching as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. But SC East Bengal fans, they're gonna be just laughing it out, have that smirk on their face, because we know, they like those leads, right? But there again, you've got the game resuming back again. ATKMB, they've got to try and search and make anything possible out of this particular game. Now, they've been fighting a lot of openings lately with Ronaldo. They're just sort of pacing in. Spinazzola making quite a run over there. Not the perfect person to take the shot, but it is what it is. Goes out for a corner.
Goes out for a corner, ball into the box, but of course too close to the keeper in that instance. And well, I do worry for ATKMB now, because now with SC East Bengal having the momentum, with Ankit Gupta also feeling almost like he's not quite performing, that he's feeling that pressure that, I need to score more goals. क्या हो रहा है मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है आज ठीक से. There is the feeling that SC East Bengal could go and have an absolute romp, particularly if ATKMB keep making mistakes, but they can keep their heads in the games. The ATKMB boys, if they can just try to get a goal back somewhere in this first half, then suddenly the momentum can shift in their favor. And it's going to take an effort. It's going to be a Herculean task for them to get anything out of this game. Of course, the only thing that they can get is 1 point if they manage to get a win in this particular game. And as things stand, not looking particularly likely, but of course, everything can change in a matter of seconds. Takes one good pass, one good bit of magic, one mistake from your opposition, and it could all change.
Yeah, it definitely could all change. And as ATKMB, this could be a promising run, but two defenders already on way. Spinazzola receiving the pass perfectly, trying to go in through, but Cafu reads that very well. Back to it, Schweinsteiger and Ronaldo. That's a nice piece of dribbling over there. But SC East Bengal completely reading ATKMB like an open book and dealing with the threat even before it could sort of start getting deadly. But again, the possession game is strong for ATKMB, as they've been owning that possession chart. But again, you've got to reflect that in terms of the goal scored. So that's the department where they've been particularly unlucky a little bit over there. So these are the things that they really need to work out on.
Yeah, well, in fact, we did say that earlier on, goal scoring was not the problem for them and defending was the issue, but they haven't conceded too many bad goals apart from that one. This time with Pele, great stuff, great goal. ATKMB right back in it. That's exactly what this contest needed. And now ATKMB know they are still just one goal away from stealing that 1 point, from stopping the momentum of their massive rivals from across the city. And as neutrals, this is exactly what we want to see as well.
Oh yeah, and it's game on, right? ATK Mohun Bagan, they will have to score one more goal, and they've got to make sure that they do not concede right after. But we can see SC East Bengal pacing through instantly, as if you can see revenge in their eyes. No, this has to be Ankit Gupta. He went in all solo. Was there an opening for a pass, Azim? Because had that been there, could have been the second for SC East Bengal.
Well, I don't think Ankit particularly cared if there was an opening. I think he had it in his mind that he wanted to score the goal of the match, if you would. But now a cheap giveaway from SC East Bengal, but not capitalized upon by ATKMB. And as important as it is to not make your own mistakes, it is important to capitalize, just as SC East Bengal did when ATKMB gave that ball away so cheaply. And now, what do they have in their locker? Are we going to see another Ankit Gupta special, another crazy, weird shot out of nowhere? Not for the moment, we're not. It is 43 minutes on the clock, and the ball played long. Pele might just win that chase. He doesn't, and it will, I believe, go out for a throw. So you would expect, unless SC East Bengal throw the ball straight to the opposition, which thankfully, ATKMB, thankfully they don't. You would expect ATKMB now to have this last attack, and if somehow they can grab a goal here, that would set us up for an incredible grandstand second half. And you know what? They might just Ronaldo bulldozing his way through, but they see it out, and now that ball will be cleared out. It is a throw, so SC East Bengal still not looking entirely happy with their performance. It is 1-1. ATKMB putting up a fight. They haven't given up the ghost just yet. And second half, you know what? They might just still do it.
Oh yeah, the second half is definitely out there, and we do have a storyline going on. So ATKMB, this time not really being scared or being kind of worried or intimidated by SC East Bengal. They still somehow have managed to hold on to their horses, and well, if this sort of continues, then we know they can score, right? They do have the potential. They've got the players. All they've got to do is till the next 70th minute, if they can score one more, and then just try to hold on and not concede those goals, because that has been one of the strongest suits for SC East Bengal, where they get really deadly in the final 10 minutes. So if they can manage to hold on over there at TKMB, I think they can at least take home a point. And that comes only when they score a goal, right? But regardless, the second half has already begun. And both these teams just going after each other clearly, like the way you would want to expect in an Bengal derby. But now, ATK Mohun Bagan being very careful, very cautious with the passes. And just when I was telling that, gave
Yeah.
the ball away.
Yeah, that's the story of the season so far. It all looks nice and rosy, and suddenly, out of nowhere, the opposition has the ball. And yeah, now again, the momentum with SC East Bengal. Will they look to do something ultra creative? Are we going to see? Oh no, they're very creatively giving the ball back to their rivals from across town and being given the ball straight back. For rivals, they're being very kind to each other with possession constantly. Nahi sir, pehle aap lijiye ball. So being very, very nice, very kind to their opponents so far. And well, hopefully a little sustained run of possession now. Nope, it's given straight back and given straight back. And we end up all square. Now, in a 1v1 situation, he's got Bastian Schweinsteiger in the box, not the guy who want to finish the move off with Ronaldo over there, but not quite what he was intending. And potentially, I think maybe that could have been KT in that position, because so many times we saw him get into that wide area and then just have the ball nicked off him. But now, ball in the box for SC East Bengal. They just about see it out, just about surviving there without giving possession away. Again, should look to slow it down now. At 60 minutes, there is plenty of time for ATKMB to grab one goal and thereby grab 1 point. And could it be that SC East Bengal crack under the pressure? Could they make that game-changing mistake for once? And it has come. The mistake has come. Can they capitalize on it? ATKMB need to do something with this. Pele in the box now, searching for the shooting chance. Does find Ronaldo, will go for the shot. Surely no, can't pull the trigger. The ball still remains with ATKMB. They still keep coming. All of this, of course, caused by a cheap giveaway from SC East Bengal. Will they be made to pay for it? Again, searching for that shooting opportunity. Look at the number of bodies in the box for SC East Bengal. It's a brick wall of red and yellow, no way through, and there you go again, just immense on defense, and that's what a solid defense can get you.
Oh yeah, and again, this is where you've been talking about those little small mistakes from SC East Bengal, but right after, this is one of the primary strengths from their side that we've witnessed, is they really get up close and personal on the counter attacks. They pace in through with especially Mbappe. We've seen Ankit Gupta doing that on multiple occasions, but if Sebio looking at a cutback does go for it, though not really the right man receiving the pass. Schweinsteiger from ATK Mohun Bagan getting his legs on it, and those little mistakes, and again ATKMB, they've been getting in, but it's the final third that has been the primary issue. They've sort of been struggling with that, but 73 minutes have gone by. A draw is completely acceptable, but Pele completely opened up. ATK Mohun Bagan concede again as SC East Bengal, they're going to be scoring it. And again, this is what I've been talking about. In those final few minutes, ATKMB had to make sure they did not give the goals away. And this is heart-wrenching. Even the goalkeepers know it. Even the players know it. Feels like game over already.
Yeah, it is definitely, I think, game over. We just have to look at the amount of, and this is naivety. This is just switching off completely on defense, watching the ball rather than watching the runners happen. We have seen ATKMB score, rather concede this goal so many times during the season. And as somebody who has, of course, done a bit of football coaching in my life, to see that switching off, that lack of concentration at times, it's really infuriating, because it puts all the good work you've done throughout the tournament and throughout the game, in fact, to absolutely nothing. And well, now they need to search. They have 16 minutes to find 2 goals. It's going to take a minor miracle for ATKMB to rescue anything, or as is looking likely, it will end up with SC East Bengal doing the double over ATKMB in the eISL. But hang on, ball into the box, well defended. And still an opportunity. Nope, not quite. Again, player switching not quite working well over there. And now on the counter attack, this is where SC East Bengal so lethal. This is where Ankit Gupta can bring out the party tricks. Will he go for a cross? Will he do something fun? No, he just I think he wins the corner. No, goal kick.
Oh, even I could sort of thought, but it's okay. Just 10 minutes of play remaining, and SC East Bengal getting this lead sort of secures them that 3 points, right? Either ways, if this match gets into a draw, also they've still got those 3 points secured for themselves. Not really a very distant margin like they've done last time, but it's still something they can live
Oh!
with. ATK Mohun Bagan almost had a screamer of an equalizer, just hitting the crossbar. Oh, the stars definitely not aligned, but thank God this was an offside.
Offside over there, and yeah, I think now that when you start attempting that shot from that far out, it is the territory of desperation. Now a great ball played in towards Neymar, in at the near post. Hold on, still could be a chance for ATKMB with 5 minutes left to play. If they can bring that goal back in after all the torment that they've put their fans through today of looking like maybe we're about to get the
Wow.
result, maybe it's going to work for us,
Yeah.
and then shooting themselves in the foot. But now they have the goal, and will SC East Bengal look to shut up shop? Because it's going to be constant pressure from ATKMB, which of course will lead to more gaps for SC East Bengal to exploit.
Oh yeah, but this particular routine we haven't really seen from them trying out in the previous co-op games that they've played, right? It was absolutely perfection. But again, SC East Bengal standard run with Mbappe utilizing the pace from that right wing would definitely look for a pass. There you have it on Ronaldo. SC East Bengal, they're gonna take the shot any single moment right now. Little bit of an overplay, just toying around and making sure that actually they wanted to keep the possession on them, but not really the way they wanted. And the last final attack
And could
goes to
they regret
ATKMB,
it?
and if they can make it count, Azim, oh, what a delight would it be?
No way.
No
No way.
way.
Oh my goodness, he goes for the finesse shot when he had a pass available, and you can see that his teammate telling him, come on, I was free, I was unmarked, and a huge opportunity goes begging. What a pulsating game it has been in the end. ATKMB that close, a matter of inches away from claiming a point. But SC is Bengal. The train keeps moving on, and 3 points, doing the double over the city rivals, of course, as well. ATKMB stuck rock bottom. Well, for another week at least, and SC is Bengal now can move their sides towards the top of that table.
Yeah, but then again, kudos to ATK Mohun Bagan for taking it this close. And towards the very end, this is where you cut out the players. Difference in SC East Bengal and ATK Mohun Bagan, right? Because in those final moments, I think they would not have messed up. That little pass had that been done, because of course, they were getting a little overwhelmed with how the second goal went in. They so really thought that they could get away with getting the winner in a similar fashion. Directly went in for the shot, but did not quite go their way. And they had been sort of going for those long shots a lot towards those final 10 minutes, right? They figured out the inside defense is too strong. So let's try to do something from the outside. Maybe we've got a few openings over there, and all these goals that they did score were really fancy, were really good, but they amount to nothing when it does not get reflected likewise on the scoreline.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of cheap mistakes, like this one in particular. Defense absolutely all over the shop. We've seen KT Dillon in particular in his individual games concede pretty much this exact same goal at least 4 or 5 times so far in the eISL, and of course, opened up completely for them. Nothing really special that SC East Bengal even needed to do to score that goal. It was just positionally handed to them on a plate. But then, 85 minutes in, the goal back from ATKMB, suddenly a sliver of hope, and they almost had it right in that last play. I think a lack of composure, a lack of patience when they had the time to try and really seek out and search for that pass. You can see over there. He's like, I'm over there, I'm open. But there you go. Eventually, 2-2 between the two massive rivals. But on the day, SC East Bengal grab all 3 points.
Yeah, again, not the kind of a win that SC East Bengal really anticipated, but hey, they're gonna take it with their arms wide open, right? Considering how that's gonna propel them up in the leaderboards, and this is going to be so exciting. But before that, we're gonna take a look at the scorecard and find for ourselves. This is where we officially confirm that 3 points have been granted. Of course, they've been earned. I must say the right word over here by SC East Bengal. All credits to, I think, Ankit Gupta. I also do not think that we do have any surprises in who the hero of the match will be.
Yeah, well, remains to be seen, and of course, 3 games, 3 points earned, but unfortunately, we'll have to say 2 points rather given away by ATKMB. And let's find out now who the hero of the match is. I wonder if anybody else has a sniff. Nope, Ankit Gupta scoring 5, as is the norm for him, just 5 goals every day. And I
Yes.
think that takes him just about to the top of those MVP rankings with goals scored. So obviously having a fantastic season. Even when he's not having a good day, he ends up scoring 5 goals and being hero of the match. Just that's the nature of the man.
Oh yeah, but I was just having a quick gander. I think he's positioned second right now because Saranj, he scored 35, so he's sitting at 33 most probably. Then, but regardless, Azim, that's one debate where it all comes down to the fact that he's got so many games to play. And eventually, towards the end, I think he's going to be undisputed. No one's going to be touching or being close to where he is. Currently, definitely the best player in the eISL, we can say, considering the stats and everything that goes along his way. But Shayantan was a little bit under the weather today, a little bit gloomy. I'm pretty sure it's the pressure of the derby. But ATK Mohun Bagan, the way they played, they put up a fight, they gave their hearts out. I think all they could do was just hold themselves in those final 10 minutes. And had they done that, could have been a completely different affair. Maybe would not have conceded that second goal. But likewise, let's take a look at the leaderboard and see if there's any significant changes being made. SC East Bengal, of course, on the third spot. But look at the games played, just 10. So, when they play the next game, which is going to be pretty soon, I'm pretty sure they can directly go to become the table toppers. The kind of a win streak that they're having, just that one game lost, the lowest lose ratio. And they've won 7 games, again, the highest in the eISL so far.
Yeah, and those are really the 2 teams to watch out for right now. SC East Bengal and of course FC Goa, who haven't had a game over the last couple of weeks. We will see them back in action very soon, I'm quite sure. But these are the guys for now. Don't let this table fool you. Everything is going to change. Everything's going to be super topsy-turvy over the coming weeks and of course most of February. So it's going to be absolutely crazy.
Oh, it definitely is going to be so crazy, and it's all going to go bonkers, right? But we've been asking for it, the fans have been asking for it, and it has been granted. We do have Shayantan, we do have Beno7 with us, who's waiting for us on the other side. And Shayantan, Kolkata derby, बहुत ही pressure game था, and was it the pressure that got to you in your matchup?
हाँ, क्योंकि मैच से पहले बहुत सारे फैंस का मैं टेक्स्ट आया था कि आज का मैच मत हारना एंड प्लीज़ विन टुडे। सो उसके लिए थोड़ा माइंडसेट अलग था कि नहीं, आज का मैच नहीं हारना है। तो उसकी वजह से मैं रिस्क नहीं लिया मेरा 1v1 के गेम पे, एंड 2v2 के गेम पे भी हम लोग रिस्क नहीं ले रहे थे। सो इसीलिए मेरा गेम थोड़ा खराब गया। बिंद्रा प्लेड रियली वेल।
Yes, हाँ, we could see Bindra Tej, but वो ATKMB का I think वही रहा है, थोड़े सारे इंडिविजुअल मिस्टेक्स, थोड़े चीपली बॉल पोजेशन दे दिया तुम लोग को। बट अभी सिटिंग इन थर्ड प्लेस, 3-4 गेम बाकी है खेलने को, एडवांटेज है मैचेस प्लेड में। तो कैसा लग रहा है, हाउ यू फीलिंग कॉन्फिडेंस वाइज की? एंड ऐसा क्योंकि हमने देखा है कि जो भी टीम टॉप जाती है वो इमीडिएटली हारने लग जाती है। तो आर यू हैप्पी कि वो टॉप स्पॉट तुम लोग को नहीं मिल रहा है?
मैं बहुत खुश हूँ क्योंकि गोवा का भी यही हुआ था। गोवा टॉप पे थे, फिर हम लोग के बाद हारे, फिर वो लोग 5th पोजीशन पे है अभी। तो इसलिए ठीक है, अभी जो है हम लोग कम मैचेस खेले तो 3rd पोजीशन भी ठीक है। टॉप 4 का ही 4 ही तो आना है।
I mean completely understandable, but शांतन यहाँ पे ISL में काफी पूरे इंडिया भर से लोग देख रहे हैं and काफी सारे लोग उत्सुक है. They need to know about the Bengal derby. थोड़ा सा उसके बारे में आप बताइए. You've been in that place, you've grown up over there. What is the importance of the derby amongst the Bengalis?
लाइक जब लास्ट गेम हुआ ईस्ट बंगाल एंड एटीके मोहन बगान का, तो मेरे दोस्त को भी बहुत मैसेज आया था. वो भी मतलब मेरे को चिढ़ा रहे थे बिकॉज आई एम ईस्ट बंगाल फैन. सो ये सब चीज़ें होता रहता है बंगाल में, क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग मोहन बागान, बहुत सारे लोग ईस्ट बंगाल फैंस के मैचेस देखते हैं. तो ये मतलब कहा सुनी होती है दोस्तों के बीच में. सो वो लोग मजाक कर रहे थे मेरे साथ कि आज तो हार गई, लास्ट गेम में भी हारा था. सो बट आई वन हियर.
बट जाने से पहले ऑफ
But
कोर्स
yeah.
बंगाली में कुछ शब्द मैं जरूर बोलूंगा आपके फैंस के लिए, आपके दोस्तों के लिए, क्योंकि आज तो आपने टाई भी जीत लिया ये दूसरी बार.
সাপোর্ট করবেন, আমরা আমাকে আর অঙ্কিতকে, আমরা আরও ভালো খেলবো এবং আমাদের বাকি গেমগুলো সব কটাই আমরা জেতার চেষ্টা করব.
All right, thank you so
All right,
much
there you have
over
it.
there.
And yeah, good luck and congrats once again शांतन. बहुत ही बेहतरीन खेला आपने आज. एंड या आपका स्ट्रीक कंटिन्यू रहे और आपका एज यू होप टॉप ऑफ द टेबल होपफुली नहीं पहुंचे.
थैंक यू सो मच.
All right, Aziz. but did you understand what he said in Bengali?
Little bits. I think from what I could gather, it was please support Ankit and me, and
Yeah.
we will play very well and we will make you proud.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward.
I'm a genius.
Just yeah, I mean he was literally having tremors over there, because it's all the emotions that pile out. But for all you viewers out there, again, you can get all your favorite players and team posters from our digital collectibles partners, Terra Virtua, a leader in the NFT and the metaverse space. Of course, what an evening it has been, I must say. Azim, first of all, the cracker of a match between Mumbai City FC and Chennai FC, and then we did get to see the Bengal derby, SC East Bengal winning it all, and it's not for the first time, but for the second time also, and still in the run for the top spot. And with just so little games played, they've been playing fantastically enough. But what a start to the Mondays, usually a gloomy day. But that's all that we have for you guys. Before we head off, a huge shout out again to our sponsors, starting off with Coca-Cola, our associate sponsors, Hero, esports partners, Nodwin Gaming, our platform partners, PlayStation, and our digital collectibles partners, Terra Virtua, for making this event happen. That being said, Azim and I, we're going to be calling it a night. We're going to see you tomorrow because we've got amazing game lined up. So catch you then. Till then, good night.